And welcome back to Sports Hour here on 104.9 FM Funasia Radio. It's a great Saturday. We have a great lineup of cricket and football and just a bunch of other sports to talk about. But first, have you ever wondered if you could play cricket when it rains or if it's too hot? Well, now you can. Lord's Indoor Sports offers indoor cricket and indoor football, soccer, with international guidelines and hands-on coaching. You can relive the golden days of neighborhood cricket. For details, visit lordsindoorsports.com. And I have two very special guests with me today. Here, let's welcome Sibu, founding partner, and CK, principal partner of Lord's Indoor Sports. How are you both doing today?
We're doing good, Andy. Thanks for having us in.
So Sibu is here with us. Sibu, and we have met each other many times now. CK, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We've met each other many times. I've visited Lord's Indoor Sports, got an idea of what the sports complex, what the facility is like. I mean, it's such a great environment. But first, Sibu, I think maybe explain, what indoor cricket is for those listeners and watchers, viewers who are not too familiar with the sport.
Right. So indoor cricket was started in 70s in Australia. And it's quite popular now in Australia, England, New Zealand, Middle East, and there are like about 9 countries who participate in the World Cup indoor cricket. Not many people know that there's an indoor World Cup, and there's a governing body, World Indoor Cricket Federation, who governs this, and it's the headquarters in Brisbane. It's a pretty new concept to US, and this is the first indoor cricket facility in the US. It's a box cricket concept, but it has its rules, and it's monitored by the World Indoor Cricket Federation.
Yeah, and how did you come up with this concept of indoor cricket? Because it's very exciting. It's so engaging. CK, I know we played together many times now.
Oh yeah,
it's so engaging. But Sibu, how did you come up with this concept about indoor cricket?
So
and bringing it to Dallas.
I moved to the United States in 2014 from Dubai, and I played this format there for 9 years. After coming to US, this was never a business idea to be pursued. But what happened back in 2017, I was watching an IPL game, and my 7-year-old son Jaden walks up to me and asks me, "What format of baseball you're watching that?" I was like, "Do you really think it's a baseball?" I had no answers because my kid was born and raised here. He never saw cricket. Never took him to an outdoor cricket.
Yeah.
And a couple of months back, my wife works for a corporate, and they had a corporate league. And I was too excited. Hey, corporate cricket league. I went and watched, and I saw them playing in a parking lot. And then I play outdoor leagues, and there was one season, I think in 2018, out of 9 games scheduled, 7 got cancelled, and we could only play 2. So this was like right at my house. I have 3 end users who can be introduced to cricket in a different format. And then I spoke to a few friends of mine and said, "Hey, what do you think about your kids? Do they know cricket? And where do you have corporate events? And how is your outdoor league going on?" And the answer was just back Dubai days, indoor cricket. And that's when I reached out to our founding partner, Stan Thomas, and then CK. CK is a coach to my son, and he's quite popular in the soccer world. And then then the next requirement was to get somebody from cricket side, and that's when Uni stepped in.
Oh yeah.
And we all got together and put brains together and say, "Hey, definitely the answer is indoor cricket."
Yeah, and you mentioned Uni and Stan Thomas, another founding partner, and Uni, a partner and the director of Lord's Indoor Sports.
In cricket, yes.
In cricket. He will be joining us later on via Skype as well. So like I said, if you haven't downloaded the Radio Fan app, go ahead and do that. You'll be able to watch and get an inside look of how Lord's Indoor Sports looks as well. So, Sibu, you mentioned soccer as well, being a part of what you were trying to develop and build here, indoor soccer for the community in Dallas. And that brings me to you, CK. Why is soccer so important when it comes to not just bringing it to Dallas, the Dallas area, but for developing, let's say, the youth as well?
Well, the thing is, I've lived here in Dallas for over 40 years, and I can tell you from a personal experience, growing up in Dallas 40 years ago, I was maybe only one Asian kid in a population of all Caucasians, right?
Yeah.
And so what's happened in the 40 years is Dallas has become an international community. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, we're a huge melting pot. But for me, growing up as a kid, sports was my way to actually gap that bridge between everybody. And soccer being one of them, I am the chairman of Nexus Soccer Organization. And if you look at all our teams, we have 5 teams that play all throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And all 5 teams, we're just that. We're a melting pot. We're an international community. And that's what we want to do with cricket also, and soccer with Lord's Indoor Sports, is we want to bring this melting pot together. And that's how you bring these communities together to play as a group. And so that's one of the major points that we try to focus on with Lord's Indoor Sports.
Yeah, and how does that relate to the youth program that you're trying to bring about, like the specifics of, because we've talked about it, I know, but I think it's really exciting for our listeners to get a chance to listen from you, what you have planned at Lord's Indoor Sports for the youth.
Our focus is grassroots. And if you've looked, and this model works over and over and over again, if you look at the U.S. women's team, they're a very good example. If you talk about the U.S. women's soccer team, where did they start playing soccer?
Yeah.
You can go and ask every one of them. They're going to all tell you the same answer. They started playing indoor. And the reason they started playing indoor was because it was on a small-sided field. Just like the Brazilians play soccer, they play on a very small-sided, skill-level indoor format, and that's why they're so great. And that's why all these international soccer teams are so fantastic. It's because they just play, right? But they play a very small format, just like they do it on the streets. Same thing they do with gully cricket, right?
Yeah.
They play in the streets, right? And they just go out and play, and they become great players, but that's just because they have this opportunity to play. And so we're trying to do the same thing with our concept with Lord's Indoor. When we bring that format indoor, now you can have kids as early as 4 and 5 going out there and playing cricket.
Yeah, absolutely.
How fantastic
It's
is
great.
that, right?
I mean, I've been there, like I said, to Lord's Indoor Sports, and every time we have some kids come in and they're playing, the look on their faces when they're playing, I mean, it's unreal, Sibu. You get more excited watching these kids play and have fun than you do watching anyone else.
One of the best compliments I got last week was from a 6-year-old kid, and I went to him and asked him, like, hey, what do you think about the facility? He said, this looks like a sports casino.
That's right.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that kid said that, I was there when he said it, and it was hilarious, right? And it's really because the way that you guys have set up the facility is it's not just another indoor cricket environment, where you have nets and things. You guys have everything set up so well with from the chairs to the bleachers to the netting. I mean, I want to talk about the netting too. That's the detail that Lord's Indoor Sports has put in. I mean, Sibu, when we first met, you told me that the nets were brought in from Australia, and an Australian team came in, took about, 5 days, you said, to set everything up? I mean, the turf, the nets, that's the level of detail that they put into this. And so, Sibu, how is Lord's Indoor Sports different than any other indoor facility out there?
So when any customers come and walk, what we do is we don't want to give an idea of cricket from somebody who plays cricket. And CK has never played cricket before. But hear it from a North American, what they talk about cricket.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I've never played cricket, and people ask me, they're like, why are you playing cricket? Right? They're like, you're a Korean guy playing cricket. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But it just takes one time. You walk on that field one time. And here's the great thing about when you walk inside that field, inside that net, you're walking in not just the first facility in the U.S. that's ever set up an indoor cricket field, but you're walking in to an international World Cup level playing field. It doesn't exist in the U.S. except for right here in Lord's Indoor Sports. And once you go in there and play just one time, even from the lighting specifications that we got perfect, the netting, the field, the stumps, but once you go in there and play just that one time, you know it, and you and I do the same thing. We don't want to leave.
Oh, absolutely not.
We finish one match, and we're like, can we play
Let's
another?
That's
How much
exactly
time do
what
we
happened.
have left?
That's exactly what happened, right? Last week I had a meeting, and I was late to attend our team practice that we had, and that's exact. CK, you were kind enough to fill in for me, and then I got there at about 9 p.m. and said, "Hey, this is something that I want to play." The guys were already done playing, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Can we play another game?" And CK was like, "AB, you want to take my spot?" And I was like, Well, yeah, thanks. And then we played another quick game. It's that much fun. And that leads me to, we were speaking about
Australian turfs and nets.
turfs and nets, right?
To add on what CK was mentioning, if you look at indoor cricket is a World Cup. It happens like every 3 years. So what it happens, like all the turfs and nets and the playing field which has been set where the World Cup happens, has been set by this particular company based out of Australia. They are GABA, and we try a lot of vendors out in US, but it's very important to have that turf because you need to have that bounce from that indoor cricket ball.
Yeah.
The only option was to get it from the people who have set up these fields outside US and where World Cup was played. So we didn't want to cut any edges. We want to get the best because it was the first, and we want to keep up the standard to all other venues we are coming up with. So that was the reason we got Australians in. The lifespan of these turf goes to about 12 years. And these nets are like trampoline nets where you can bounce back.
You can bounce off of it so easily. It's fun, actually.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I did. I went up there, just ran and bounced off.
Yes.
Sibu said it was okay. So anyways, that level of detail, I think that's what makes a big difference when it comes to Lords. And speaking of a big difference, one of your partners, Uni, that we've spoken about already, he is joining us live on Skype now. So there he is. Uni, can you hear us?
Hey guys, how are you?
We are doing excellent, so we're glad to have you on the show with us. Uni, ladies and gentlemen, listeners and viewers out there, is a partner of Lords and also director of sports and cricket at Lords Indoor Sports. And Uni, we've talked about your background so many times. It's very fascinating. I'll try to be very brief here. You were performance analyst for the Deccan Chargers, Pune Warriors from seasons 1 through 5, from the inception of IPL. And you moved to the United States, you said, and you got involved with Team USA Cricket, and just your history, your background that you're bringing to Lords. Talk about what you've done in the past and how you're bringing that to Lords Indoor Sports and how it can better the facility itself.
Yeah, sure. So I had the opportunity to work, as you said, in the IPL, and trust me, it's a very rewarding experience. Because when you you can talk cricket with guys like Adam Gilchrist and Rohit Sharma and Darren Lehman, then you know that they mean business. So I was fortunate to be a part of that setup. And then after moving into the States, I got involved with the USA Cricket team. And for listeners, if you haven't heard, USA right now is an ODI country, which means that we have the opportunity to qualify for the World Cup pretty soon. So. I was part of the team when we won the Division 4 championships in Los Angeles, as well as the tour to Uganda in Division 3. So, those are exciting times when I was involved with the team.
I mean, that's great. We've all played together as well, and we're all very familiar with Lords Indoor Sports, how it looks and everything. But Uni, we're hoping you can walk around and show us what Lords Indoor Sports looks like from the inside.
Sure, absolutely. Just give me a moment.
Yeah, so if you're watching through the Radio Fan app, you're able to see what Lords Indoor Sports looks like. They're the casino chairs that Sibu loves. Right.
Can you guys see my video?
Yes, we can see you loud, and we can see you very clearly, and we can hear you clearly as well. Once again, if you're watching, just download the Radio Fan app. You're able to watch what we are showing here. Sibu and CK are in the studio with me. They're partners with Lords Indoor Sports, and Uni is joining us from Lords Indoor Sports as well, and he's showing us the lobby right now. Of course, we have cricket going on one of the TVs.
Yeah, if you just seen I've just shown you the reception area of our facility. You have a registration desk over here, and you have a lot of TVs. Trust me, if you ever want to come here and work, you can sit over here, and then get your laptop access. We have a free guest Wi-Fi. So you can sit over here and watch all your games. And then we have a concession stand where you can have some food. And we have a drinks place over here. You can get a drink or two from here once you finish playing. And let me just take you inside. So here's what we have done. We've got 2 fields, one dedicated for soccer and another one for cricket. Well, not dedicated really, because this turf, which Sibu mentioned, you can play both cricket and soccer in the same turf. So this is one of the fields, and this is another field, and you can see some of the guys are just warming up to play a game. and there are two TVs over here right on top. There's always soccer and some cricket action always going on. So you can see that. And let me quickly take you inside and show you what the. Hey, there's a friend of mine. So this is the inside of the indoor cricket field, we call it. So you see that it's like a boxed net. And let me just quickly throw a ball, and you see that the ball is bouncing. So this ball you see is a soft ball. It's a super soft ball, and it's meant for indoor cricket. You can see that it's a Cricket Australia certified ball, and this is the ball which they play in the World Cup. And let me quickly run and show you what we've got. A beautiful setup with a TV over here. You can see some scores. I think you played over in this game.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you're
Oh, no,
to fill in
don't
our
show
listeners
that.
who are
Don't
just
show that.
listening, there's a score that Uni is showing us. 108 to 52 is the score that he's showing. That was a match that we played
No.
on
And
Thursday, I
you're
believe.
part of the team which got 52 runs. Right?
Oh,
On
no.
the last,
Come on. Let's be honest, Uni. Let's be honest here.
You and Chi killed that game.
So,
Oh, yeah. You
What
too.
we're trying
You
to
too,
do-
Sibu.
Yeah, what we're trying to do over here is, guys, there will be a ref right on top, and he is the one who's controlling the game. So the scores you see from here, the view he's going to be seeing from there is this. So he's got an amazing view, and then he makes those decisions. So we have, taken care of all the things what we do in an international indoor cricket game, and that's what you can see right now.
Yeah, and then Uni, we could also see to your left side there, we could see some 2 net sessions as well that you have set up, and those are not for indoor. Actually, those are set up for the outdoor game.
That is correct. So what we have done is, in over here in Dallas, cricket is played almost right through the year. There's even a winter league which apparently is played outdoors. But for those people who really want to play with the leather ball, we have 2 turfs over here, which is of international standard. Is placed in all the academies worldwide. The ICC Academy in Dubai has got the same turf, and we will have a bowling machine which will probably be arriving in a week or so. And you have the entire strip over here, as you can see. Let me quickly get it through the net. Yeah, you can see those 2 lanes over there. So all the teams, the clubs, you can come over here. You can book and rent a lane, and get your team and play a game of practice for an hour or 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great facility. And then, Sibu and CK in the studio with me. You're seeing Uni here live showing us what's going on. I mean, how do you 3, when you're working together, planning, I see you always in discussions, I mean, what is needed? I mean, why bring this to Dallas? Why is Dallas so important for this goal and vision that you guys have?
So when you look at cricket right now, the way it's played outdoor. But during winters, it kind of goes a little silent. And the youth, anybody who's starting from age 4 to 5, if you take that kid to a giant cricket field, which is twice of a baseball crowd, they will not pick up that sport. If you look at back to soccer, and CK correct me, what happened 15 years back was somebody came up with the concept of indoor soccer.
Correct.
That youth went into that format of an indoor soccer and then started picking up the sports. It's not about the techniques or skill set, it's more about love for that sport. You let that kid play.
Yeah.
So unless you come up with something like indoor, in a controlled temperature, because in summers it gets really hot.
Absolutely.
And in winters you cannot play. And then thanks to rain, if it rains on a Friday, Saturday, you cannot play on a Sunday game or a Saturday game. And here's the thing, cricket is not played during weekdays. And there are not enough grounds with floodlights where after work you can play. So you only play Saturday, Sundays outdoor or practice during the weekdays, but there are very few grounds which is a floodlight.
Yeah.
You need to have a infrastructure where 360 days at any time you can come and play. We are pretty much open on a weekday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and on weekends from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And the format of the game is not as outdoor. A 20 over format goes to about 4 hours, and 40 overs pretty much takes about 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
The indoor cricket is played between 2 teams. Each team has about 8 players. You can play with 6, but maximum 8 players, and you can rotate the players. And the format of the game is just 70 minutes. You can play
Yeah.
a game, a 32 over game in 70 minutes because it's in a box, and the game has its rules. You've seen the score; it can go up to 104 runs. It's a pretty interesting format. You think how you can play, but somebody 15 years back would have come and say, "How can you play soccer indoor?"
Indoor.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
we're seeing Uni, if you're watching, I mean, he's kicking the soccer ball around as well. And Uni, I mean, I have to say, while you're here with us, he does such a great job coaching the kids,
Oh, yes.
teaching them how to play, working with them. Uni, you do a fantastic job there at Lords.
Thank you so much, guys. I think this facility is all about youth and where we promote youth. That's a very core component of our business. And as like Cebu said, it's really not. I mean, the reason why we started Lords was there's a business aspect to it, but there's more of a need over here for the people in this country because cricket. Yeah, you can play maybe 6 or 7 months, but apart from that, after 5 months, you don't have people just waiting and don't get an opportunity to play a game. So over here, right after work, just come over here, play a game for 70 minutes, and go back home. Maybe tell your wives to say that, hey, I'm at work, and you can come and finish a game and go back. So maybe,
There you go.
yeah, I think my wife is listening. So yeah.
Uni's coming up with all the great ideas. Well, Uni, thank you so much for joining us via Skype. It's been a great conversation, and looking forward to seeing you again over there at Lords.
Thank you so much, guys. You have a good day.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Uni.
Well, that was Uni from Lords Indoor Sports joining us. So we thank you, Uni, for taking the time to join our show today. Once again, Cebu and CK here in the studio with me. We're talking about Lords Indoor Sports, their brand new facility out in Plano. It's such a great environment that you guys have all created here. So, tell me, I've seen a lot of people there show up to practice cricket, to play indoor soccer, to do so many different things. There's so many different events, and it can be used as a venue. How can the community really benefit from this as a whole?
Well, I can tell you one of the ways that the community can benefit from this is we're offering a program that we haven't talked about yet, but we're offering a program that's called the Walking Soccer Program. It's been done over in Britain called Walking Footy Program, but obviously we call, instead of football, we call it soccer over here in the States. And so we want to offer the senior citizens a free offering where they can come in and play between 11 and 1 o'clock. We'll set up a walking soccer program where they can come in and play free at our facility. So that's one of the ways that the community can definitely benefit from us. And the second way is we want to bring the communities together. Right,
Yeah.
and as we talked about before, I mean, I've kind of given you my personal experience of how I feel like sports has given me that level playing field where there's no boundaries here when it comes to race or color or gender when you're playing a sport. And
Yeah.
that's what I found out very quickly as a
Absolutely.
child, is that when I'm on the sport field, we're all even, right? And so that's another way that we can bring the community together. So I think that's the biggest part of it, especially with the youth. The youth, they don't see that. They don't see different colors. They don't see different genders. They just want to go out and play.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Absolutely. So very quickly here, Cebu, we have just to go into a quick commercial break here. What is exciting you? What is so exciting about bringing Lords to Dallas?
The kids in that playing field who comes and register themselves for soccer, and next field they see somebody's playing cricket, they switch and say, hey, let me try this sport.
Yeah.
That's the mission of this Lords Indoor Sports, that we
That's
want
it.
to introduce cricket to North American community. We cannot do it through outdoor format. The only format we can do is through indoor. And like CK said, we are setting up a playing level field for everybody because it's a new concept. So anybody who would be coming in would be starting at the same start point, and then you build onto it, and it has a potential of going nationwide.
Absolutely.
Please.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You're listening to 104.9 FM Fun Asia Radio. This is AB Bhakta alongside Cebu and CK. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
Thank you,
AB.
AB.
Thank you, Funasia, for having us.
Fun Asia is evolving under new management. Fun Asia is entertainment for every age group. New radio stations for millennials. Digital magazine. New community